This video is sponsored by me! Consider checking out my Super Saiyan class and Dragon Ball Races PDF for Pathfinder over on my website on LoadingCrewCrafts.com, or the 5th edition conversion I did in collaboration with the Dungeon Coach over on his website. More about those later in the video. Howdy friendos, my name is Stuart, and welcome to the part of the channel where we take a look at pop culture characters and determine what alignment they are in Dungeons & Dragons. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the character who's arguably had the greatest and most consistent character development in Dragon Ball, and that is the Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta. Now, full disclosure, we will only be covering the events of Dragon Ball Z Kai today. And I know that's gonna disappoint some people, but this just comes down to time. 120 episodes of an anime is the largest series I've done so far, and I'm already very familiar with Dragon Ball. I also couldn't get a hold of any good quality video files of Dragon Ball Super, and I'm not super interested in watching GT again, but we will make a deal. If this video reaches 100,000 views, or something around there, I would go ahead and do that. Now, I know I've made promises before, and I feel very bad about what I said in the Zuko video, but that was a mistake and a commitment I wasn't ready for. Anyway, let's not beat around the Super Saiyan bush. To those who do not know, Dragon Ball is one of my favorite anime of all time. Probably my top 3 if I'm being honest. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I am kind of a Broly stan. And I've already done videos on how to incorporate Dragon Ball into your D&D campaign, so this is a natural fit. Currently, Dragon Ball is approaching 4 decades of history within its run on Shonen Jump, and it's had over 500 chapters separated into 42 different manga volumes. Over the course of the show, it starred the mystical monkey boy named Goku, who went on various magical and sci-fi filled adventures. Eventually, that character did grow up and became the world's strongest. As Goku became stronger, the stakes had to be raised higher as each villain got more and more power. The stakes literally could not get any higher on Earth. So, Toriyama, in his infinite wisdom, revealed that Goku is in fact one of the last sons of a lycanthropic alien race that served a galactic tyrant that wipes out populations and sells those planets for profit. Oh, also he has a brother. After killing his long-lost, albeit evil, brother, it is revealed that the last monarch and prince of all these monkey men, known as Saiyans, would be heading to Earth to finish the job and make a wish on the mythical Dragon Balls for immortality. And that prince's name is Vegeta. Vegeta is the alien prince of a world that was destroyed by his boss, the galactic tyrant Frieza. This bicolored menace wiped out the Saiyan world out of fear of the legend that existed since prehistoric times. This legend told of a warrior that could defeat any challenger, and the name of this legend was the Super Saiyan. Throughout the show's history, Vegeta has been obsessed with his own power and status, and his arrogant personality consistently makes him a crowd favorite. Including probably my favorite, if I'm being honest. Ooh, except for Frieza, of course. Ooh, that could be an easy promise. Tell you what, 50,000 views, 5,000 likes, I'll do Frieza. Shoot, where was I? Alright, Vegeta is technically known as Vegeta the Fourth and is the last of his royal line. As such, his title is largely a formality and merely a sign of his elite status. Vegeta is regal, egotistical, and full of pride. At the beginning of the series, we see him on an alien planet feasting on his latest genocide with his partner Nappa. Vegeta himself was arrogant and proud, but was also smart and cunning, willing to strike up conversations and use diplomacy as needed. With that, and combining with the fact that he was operating within the hierarchy of his organization, you would think that he would be lawful evil, but I don't really think this is accurate. At the beginning of the series, Vegeta's first action was to abandon his post on a planet and seek out his own mission. I think in this regard, Vegeta starts the series at neutral evil, but we will skew him slightly to be on the lawful side, just to be fair. And if you know anything about this series, you guys know that Vegeta will not stick there. Vegeta is one of those characters that is portrayed almost perfectly throughout their own series, and just has the most satisfying and interesting character developments. And with all that out of the way, let's go.
I am a Super Saiyan! And you can burn in hell! They said they could grant any wish, right?
I'd say that's worth investigating.
Vegeta and Nappa go to Earth to wish for immortality. They abandon a mission to do so, chaotic neutral.
But before we start with the sightseeing, how about we say hello to the locals?
This is actually hard to say. Vegeta lets Nappa say hello to civilians. Nappa, being Nappa, blows up the town. Vegeta reprimands him and reminds him that they want to sell the planet later. So this is lawful evil.
We still have 6 of those Cybermen left, don't we?
During the Saiyan saga, Vegeta was mostly keeping Nappa on a leash. He was actually a bit of a nuisance to their plan because Nappa was a wild and impatient and kept testing boundaries. Vegeta stopped their fight for a while on a whim just to give the heroes a bit of hope and then resume their conquest. Eventually, Nappa failed Vegeta, and when he was asked for help, it sealed his fate. Lawful evil for the first bit, and chaotic evil for the last.
Now let me show you a wall you will never have the ability to scale through effort alone.
Vegeta then challenges Goku to a one-on-one and uses tactics to demoralize and cruelly kill and torture the Earthlings. Transforming and drawing out the fight was purely just a method of boosting his own ego and playing with his victims. He leaves the planet promising to kill all the Earthlings as well. Also, because I would be absolutely crucified if I didn't label it, Vegeta versus Goku and Vegeta versus everyone else is just a nat 20 fight. Chaotic evil twice.
Are you trying to tell me that Frieza's headed for planet Namek?
Of course.
After being healed, Vegeta learns that Frieza, his boss, and the alien that blew up his planet, headed to Namek in order to wish for immortality. Vegeta flies off in a rage to intercept. Chaotic neutral. Vegeta executes Qui not only to test himself, but to flex all over his former rival. Chaotic evil.
What kind of guarantee do I have you're not gonna take me out as soon as I've told you, huh?
I guarantee that I will end you if you do not talk.
Vegeta attacks Dodoria as an opportunity to get rid of a potential enemy. During this time, he tortures Dodoria and stabs her in the back despite them making a deal about parting ways after Dodoria drops the info about the Saiyan homeworld. Chaotic evil.
You are not worthy to possess our Dragon Ball.
Then you die.
Vegeta lands in a village and demands their Dragon Ball. Naturally, they refuse. And naturally, Vegeta responds. Chaotic evil.
Yo! It's been quite a while, hasn't it, pretty boy?
Vegeta ambushes Zarbon. This does not work. Chaotic evil.
Hey, genius! Way to look inside the ship before running off on a wild goose chase!
Vegeta murders a pool and then steals the Dragon Balls from Frieza. Admittedly, he only kills a pool as a tactic and not as a means to express sadism, but still chaotic evil. Vegeta and Zarbon have a rematch for the Dragon Ball Krillin got from the Namekian Elder. Chaotic evil, but I mostly do it because Vegeta utilizes Pocket Sand like a dick. Chaotic evil.
If I hand this over, do I have your word that you'll leave us alone?
Well, I suppose as long as I get what I'm after, there's no sense in wasting any more time.
Vegeta takes the one-star ball from Krillin and keeps his word that he won't harm them in exchange. Lawful neutral. I'm only hitting you because I have pent-up aggression about your father. Chaotic evil.
I'll make a deal with you. Give back the Dragon Ball and I promise I won't lay a finger on you or your friends.
Krillin, Gohan, and Vegeta team up to fight the Ginyu Force. Lawful neutral.
Ginyu Force rules! Ginyu Force rules!
Wait, what? This song was real?
Question. These fancy new scouters of yours, they aren't equipped to track Dragon Balls, are they?
What if they're not?
Then you lose!
Despite the fact that Vegeta teams up with the Earthlings, he did try to outsmart the Ginyu Force by breaking the Dragon Balls or tossing them away. This technically chaotic neutral, but he does agree to team up with Gohan and Krillin after that fails. Chaotic neutral for the first, and lawful neutral for the second. Vegeta saves Gohan and Krillin from Goldo, but definitely more for practicality than any sort of teamwork. He expresses this himself, actually. Chaotic neutral.
Fools! What good did saving me accomplish? You could have used that opening to attack Raccoon instead!
Again, I'm technically counting this multiple times, but teaming up with Krillin and Gohan to fight Recoom... Why do I keep saying Recoom? God, his name is stupid. I hate his name. What was I saying? Lawful neutral.
If you want to help him, come pick him up and get off this planet.
Don't be absurd, Kakarot! Finish him off now while you still have the chance!
Ever the pragmatist, Vegeta finishes off Recoom and Birder after Goku defeats them. This is purely a tactical decision, so I'll just say chaotic neutral.
Have fun, Kakarot!
Vegeta immediately runs off and leaves Goku to fight Captain Ginyu and Jace so he can go invade Frieza's ship. Chaotic neutral. He does jump in later, though, to help when the opportunity arises. Chaotic neutral.
Leave him alone. He can't hurt anyone anymore.
Very well.
At Goku's urging, he does spare Captain Ginyu, though. So, chaotic neutral.
Follow me.
Vegeta treats Goku's wounds so that he could help Frieza if and when he returns. Also, he sets up both Krillin and Gohan with armor. So, lawful neutral.
Do it!
I knew you double-crossers were up to this!
Vegeta tries to force the gang to grant him immortality. Granted, they were the ones to try to pull a fast one on him, so I'm just gonna say chaotic neutral and call it a day.
Really? I think if the three of us band together, you'll have your work cut out for you.
Fairly progressive of Vegeta, but alright. Was he right? I'm just gonna give Vegeta like 3 lawful neutrals for being a team player in most of this fight. And yes, that includes abusing the Zenkai boost. Although being stupid and kicking your white mage isn't going to give you good points either, so I'm going to give you 1 more in the chaotic evil category. Vegeta saves Gohan for vanity, I guess? It's debatable, but sure. He then fights Frieza on his own and gets his ass kicked. Chaotic neutral.
Please, Kakarot, you have to listen to me. He betrayed us. He eliminated the Saiyans, all of us, so that now we are all that remain. They're all gone. Your parents, my father, the king.
In his last moments, of his first life, mind you, Vegeta attempts to plead to Goku's sense of justice and try to instill in him a sense of duty to make Frieza answer for one of his crimes against the universe at large. I'm actually giving this a lawful good, and I will explain this more in the post-analysis.
Vegeta! This can't be! I killed you myself!
Sorry it didn't take!
I don't know why I find this so funny. Vegeta gets wished back to life, sees a powered-up Frieza and a Super Saiyan Goku. Characters who are probably thousands of times stronger than him, and then he immediately tries to shoot one of them. Alright. Also, he confesses to killing a village full of Namekians, and I think he was just doing it because he thought it was funny. So I'm just gonna say chaotic neutral for all this stuff. He also then steals Bulma's dad's ship in order to train to fight Goku when he gets back. Chaotic neutral.
Oh, I will not be seen wearing this pink monstrosity!
I forgot about this. Vegeta gets back to Earth and is hit with the gay panic because pink, I guess. Despite the fact that Bulma is picking on him, he doesn't really respond, so neutral, whatever.
Listen up! Nobody is allowed to fly! We are going in on foot so we can keep our power levels hidden.
Mecha Frieza lands on Earth and Vegeta joins the rest of the Z Warriors to try to stop him. Since Trunks steps in and jobs the hell out of Frieza and then drops all the exposition to the next saga, let's just give him a big old neutral for all of this.
I'll bet Shenron knows where he is. After that, we just show up on his doorstep and make him stop.
If any of you so much as even think of doing that, you will pay dearly for it!
Although everyone wants to stop the androids, Vegeta is the one that really pushes allowing Gero to complete them because he wants a challenge. He forces Dr. Briefs to build him a training chamber too. Chaotic neutral.
So you two got married? That's great, Yamcha.
The kid's not mine.
Vegeta raw dogs Bulma and then fucks off, leaving her as a single mom. If this was anyone but Bulma, I'd say this is pretty evil, but since Bulma can kind of take care of herself and she isn't really bothered by it, this is more chaotic neutral. Vegeta protects Goku and destroys the androids to test himself. Also, he saves Goku so that Vegeta could fight him later. Chaotic neutral.
I thought this was supposed to be a level a Saiyan could only reach if he was totally pure of heart, like Goku!
Believe me, my heart is exceptionally pure. Pure evil to the core.
Oh my god. Is there any language where that line isn't cringy as hell? Also, like, this doesn't make you evil, Vegeta. At least not yet.
The ones we did fight weren't the right ones, were they?
Anyway, Vegeta learns about his son and the real androids from the future from Trunks, and pursues him. He then attacks them as they come to life, pretty much solely for the challenge. Also, he punches Trunks for pushing the Goku button. He shouldn't have did that. Chaotic neutral, and then chaotic evil.
What if I told you there's a room up at Kami's Lookout that'll let you do a year's worth of training in a day?
Vegeta agrees to train in the hypersonic lion chamber for a year to take out Cell. Lawful neutral. Vegeta comes out and completely dominates Cell. Cell then challenges him to fight his perfect form, and Vegeta takes the bait. This could be chaotic neutral, but the fact that he attacked Trunks and kinda doomed the planet despite everyone's warning makes this chaotic evil.
Final Flash!
So after Cell dominates Vegeta, he pretty much takes a backseat to the plot for like 20 episodes, so neutral. After the death of Trunks, Vegeta flies into a parental rage at Cell to avenge him. He even apologizes when he realizes how much of a fool he was. Chaotic good. And of course, in the beam struggle to end all beam struggles, here comes Vegeta to tip the scales in the hero's favor. Neutral good. Hey folks, did you see the funny dice rolls as opposed to the normal stuff we do? Well, those are inspired by my Super Saiyan class and races PDF for Pathfinder, now available on LoadingCrewCrafts.com. Also, since you guys have been asking, the 5e Dnd Conversions are now available on the Dungeon Coach's website. Both PDFs come with 5 races, including Saiyan, Half Saiyan, Namekian, Frost Demons, and Majin, while the classes let you play as pretty much any sort of Dragon Ball Z fighter you want, from the punchy types like Goku all the way to the blasty types like Vegeta. Feel free to check out those Dragon Ball books using the links in the description and the pinned comments.
Let me guess, did you and your dad just finish up a training session?
Yep.
Interestingly, Vegeta swore off fighting at the end of the Cell arc. He is now raising Trunks to be a fighter like him. Kinda wholesome and neutral. I'm gonna count this twice as well, since this takes place over the course of several years.
This so-called tournament of yours, I believe I'll enter as well.
Vegeta heard that Gohan was entering the World's Martial Arts Tournament and decides to join to compete. Chaotic neutral.
And if you can land even one punch on my face, I'll take you to that amusement park you're always going on about.
After discovering Trunks could turn Super Saiyan, Vegeta tests him by bribing him with a trip to the amusement park if he could land a punch on it. Trunks does, and Vegeta eventually takes him in Dragon Ball Super. We're gonna go ahead and call this lawful good, actually.
Stand back.
Vegeta just isn't bothering to contain his power or his impatience and just trashes the martial arts tournament machine. Chaotic neutral.
You're not going anywhere. The fight after this one is our showdown, and you're not squirming out of it.
Vegeta joins Goku and the Supreme Kai only because he has nothing better to do and wants to fight Goku. He is more noticeably eager to help and explain themselves to Shin when things get rough, though as if he's acting as the voice of reason for the rest of the Saiyans. Him volunteering to fight Pui Pui just furthers his goal. He's mostly just fighting to show off to Goku. Chaotic neutral.
You think the Earth's fate weighs on me? Let it die for all I care!
Throughout their tour of Babidi's ship, Vegeta learned just how strong Goku had gotten in Otherworld. So when Babidi learned that Vegeta had evil in his heart, Vegeta willingly failed his saving throw in order to gain the powers of Majin Vegeta, allowing him to access Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta admits that his attachment to Bulma, Trunks, and the Earth had turned him into a different person, so he willingly throws that aside for the strength Babidi offered him with this deal. We're going to give Vegeta a single ding that shifts his alignment to chaotic evil, mostly because that is what Babidi's spell actually did.
Stop writhing on the ground and do it!
Hell no!
Gotta love it though. Despite being hit with a Dominate Person spell, Vegeta just powers through a direct order and tells Babidi to piss off while he fights with Goku. Chaotic neutral.
He'll kill them all! Even Trunks and Bulma! Shut up!
I don't care what happens to Trunks and Bulma! Anybody else!
You're lying! You care about them!
Alright. I'll defeat you later.
After Majin Buu's release, Vegeta tries to goad Goku into ignoring him and focus on their fight. Goku sees right through it and tells him that he's full of crap and still cares about Bulma and Trunks. And Vegeta fully admits it. He knocks out Goku out of guilt and a sense of responsibility and insists that he'll fight Buu himself. Chaotic good.
My ship!
Vegeta destroys Babi's ship and then starts fighting Majin Buu. Neutral good.
From the time you were a little baby, I've never once hugged you because I always wanted to make you a tougher man. I'll hug you now. Goodbye to you all. Bulma, Trunks, and yes, even you, Kakarot.
I mean, when I was younger, and this really hasn't changed, I always thought that Vegeta was kind of being a drama queen here. Like, he didn't have to die. But this is an extremely natural progression where Vegeta realizes how much he messed up and only his death can redeem him. So, neutral good and nat 20 scene.
It's been real trouble to turn to a bad guy like me for help.
Vegeta agrees to try and stop Majin Buu. There has been no agreement for a reward or anything. This is just straight up lawful good.
If we're both wearing this earring, we can instantly merge into an all-new fighter.
Vegeta gets back to Earth and Goku offers the Potara for fusion. Vegeta initially refuses because he was insulted that Goku didn't go Super Saiyan 3 against him, but Goku reminds him about what's important, and they fuse. Chaotic good.
Think you're so smart?
Vegeta and Goku, as Vegeto, curb stomp Buu until he absorbs them. This was their plan, as they meant to try to rescue their friends inside. I'm gonna mark this as chaotic good since they have no idea this will work. Once he unfuses with Goku, though, he crushes the Potara earring because Toriyama realized that cheap power-ups are narratively unfun. Plus, it's within Vegeta's character, chaotic neutral.
What happens if I tear Fat Boy here away from you, huh?
Vegeta realized that Boo was fearful of losing part of himself. He then tears Fat Boo free despite not knowing what exactly it would do, and contrary to Boo's pleas. Technically chaotic good. After Boo transformed back into his pure form, Vegeta saved the planet from his quick impulse. Neutral good, but it didn't really do anything, unfortunately.
But isn't this lady in Otherworld now? Because I don't go for halos.
Which is why we need the Dragon Balls to bring her and the other pretty ladies back.
I don't suppose this attractive woman you're promising him would be Bulma, would it? You conniving weasel!
Okay, Vegeta is totally reasonable at this blow-up. Absolutely. Goku vouched for a deal with Elder Kai that he had no right to do. And that's as far as this conversation is going, because I am not going to get into the moral implications of this, because Jesus Christ, Japanese humor gets really inappropriate sometimes. Lawful good.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, Kakarot. We don't need their trinkets to win.
Vegeta and Goku swear to destroy Majin Buu and crush the Potara earrings, thinking they can do it now on their own, that Buu is technically at his weakest, although most dangerous form. The fact that they played rock, paper, scissors is just really in character for them, so chaotic good.
We're better off luring him to us in this sanctuary on the world of the Kais, because we'll have fewer people in our way and far less collateral damage.
Vegeta and Goku lure Buu into the world of the Kais to save everyone else. Lawful good. I know this technically isn't Vegeta, but if you haven't seen the Kid Buu versus Goku fight recently, you are missing out. Nat 20 scene.
Your strength is truly amazing, Kakarot.
I'm kind of upset that the end of the Buu saga is such a blur for so many people. Vegeta's monologue here is such an amazing piece of development for him. He acknowledges that Goku will always be the better fighter, and it's his personality and actions that encourage Vegeta to become a better person and a defender of Earth. It's just great stuff, man. Nat 20 dialogue and lawful good.
Then I'll make my stand against him for the next minute, and while he's occupied, you power up.
Ding!
There are 2 wishes I want him to grant. First, I want Earth restored back to the way it was before Buu destroyed it. And second, I want everyone who's been killed, starting from the day of the World Martial Arts Tournament on, to be brought back to life.
Okay, I'm gonna consolidate a bunch of actions here at the end because it all amounts to saving the Earth and destroying Buu. Vegeta formulates a plan to restore the Earth and resurrect everyone on it so Goku could form a Spirit Bomb. The Spirit Bomb then goes on to destroy Buu and save the Earth. Vegeta also surrenders his pride and restores Goku's strength, knowing that would be more important than his own. Lawful good. Vegeta is a fascinating character because throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball Z, he is never a good person until the very end, when Vegeta realizes that his pride is what caused him nearly all of his problems. However, what is even more fascinating is that his weakness, that pride, also was the drive that gave him the greatest forms of growth as a person that he thought he wanted to be. I mentioned before in the Namek saga how Vegeta's first good act in the series is begging Goku to take down Frieza, not only for himself, but for the entire Saiyan race. I declare this as a lawful good action because this is the first time in his life that Vegeta isn't just speaking for himself, but for the heritage of his people. Vegeta is a character that takes a lot of pride in his title as Prince, but he wears it as a symbol of his superiority and not his responsibility. Have you ever noticed, though, that the closer Vegeta is to death, the better the person he becomes? When Frieza killed him, he begged for closure for his people. When Cell bitch-slapped him, he apologized to Gohan by name. And when Majin Buu was attacking, he overcame literal magical brainwashing to defend his home. Now, this isn't to say that Vegeta would have become a good person on his own. The Saiyans as a culture were mostly chaotic evil. In their history, they were notorious for subjugating and exterminating other civilizations. However, when presented with a greater threat and a greater tyrant than even his own father, Vegeta, as the leader of this evil group of people, gained something that the Saiyans desperately needed: perspective. Thanks to Vegeta's life of growing up as a slave, he understood the subjugation that his people started forcing onto others, and it turned him into a cold, bitter, prideful person who could only feel good when he was imposing his strength on others. It's the classic bully syndrome. Many times, these classic bullies have immense confidence in themselves, but only when they can belittle others. But there is a good chance that the environment they grew up in forged their perception on relationships. This is pretty tragically common, actually. Toxic people growing up in abusive situations will often sabotage perfectly healthy relationships like Vegeta did because they're scared of the calm that they're finding. While Vegeta's motivation to betray his family was more for physical fitness, I guess, it's kind of scary how realistic and how long his transformation into a good person took. Even during that time after Cell, Vegeta isn't good. He was just complacent. Vegeta's growth as a person was the most natural and, I would argue, Toriyama's greatest achievement as a writer. And I don't know if he could come up with anyone better. And I'm not sure many other writers can either. Even though I'm pretty critical of Dragon Ball Super now after it's all over, the fact that it kinda turned into the Vegeta and Bulma show, especially around the Zamasu arc, kinda shows how strong Vegeta's character actually is. If you want a super quick analysis of Vegeta and Super, he basically becomes neutral good, or you could argue lawful good, especially after the Destroyer Tournament and the Tournament of Power. Either way, I do plan on doing Vegeta in Super, but for now, I think I'm just gonna take a quick rest. Thank God I don't need to cover any more monkey-related shows, am I right? Oh, right.